I've been installing tracking and telematics devices on everything imaginable for 25 years. As a mobile electronics certified professional, or MECP first class installer, I know a few tips and tricks that make your installations go faster and become more professional. In this episode, we're going to be covering the Air Series AI Dash camera. It's an all-in-one solution combining video capture, AI with telematics. Today we're going to be installing one on this fleet transportation vehicle, but being a 12-volt device, it's compatible with almost all vehicles: commercial, RV, autos, trucks, and semis. So let's get started. All right, let's unbox these. Here's the Air 1. This is the entry-level piece. And this unit, the reason we call it the Air 1, it's S because it only has the front-facing camera and no driver-facing camera included. So that's the Air 1. This is the Air 2. And again, the reason we call this the Air 2 is because this one has two separate cameras. The one for the driver and the one for the outside of the vehicle in front on the road. Now both these devices have the cameras and other accessories. So let's take a look inside and see what they come with. In here, we've got our install guide. It's highly recommended that you go through the guide and read all the parts, make sure you've got everything that came in the box that says it's supposed to be there, and understand your installation techniques and with which harness you're going to use. We also have our Allen head, which comes with a Torx tip on one end and a flat head on the other, and multiple extra screws. Now these screws, they come in handy when you're using the device to secure this panel once you've connected your power to it. Once the power is connected, you can plug this back in, and then these two holes here, use the supplied screws to secure this panel back down, and then your plug is secure and it cannot be unplugged. And now this SSD card is for catch moments when you want to record something on the spot. It also comes with a secondary bracket here. Now these brackets are intended to be used on different types of windshields. This is for a vertical windshield, such as in a semi-truck or a box truck where the windshield is straight up and down. In the box at the bottom, it comes with a secondary bracket, which is a slanted window bracket. And this is for your standard vehicles with a front slanted windshield. It pops on there just the same as the other, as you can see, and then it mounts directly to the windshield. You'll want to determine that before you start your installation, whether you have a slanted or a flat window. Now, when you order the device, it's going to come with a bunch of separate options for the plug. And those options are these right here in front of me. This is a hardwire harness, and this is for the most secure installation where it can't be just unplugged. You would have to literally unwire the device. So this is for a hardwire. You can directly connect to ignition, ground, and a constant 12-volt source, and it won't be able to be unplugged or removed. Now for a quick, super easy install, we recommend the OBD2 connector, which will simply just plug into the OBD2 port of your vehicle and then plug straight into the device, as you can see there. The third option that you'll have to choose from is our J1939 harness. Now this adapter is meant for semi-trucks or 18-wheelers that have their own special data language. We also offer outdoor accessory camera that can be mounted to the outside of the vehicle. Now this is a little bit trickier than the standard install on the windshield, and so we recommend that a professional installation be done with this because it may be required to drill holes in the car to run wires and to mount the camera. Now this is an optional accessory that can be ordered separately. Okay, here's some additional things you know. The device has 3 LED indicators on it, and they all have a purpose. The first indicator is your camera indicator that is letting you know that the camera is on and functioning. Your middle indicator is your network LED, and that is going to let you know if the system is attached to a cellular network. And the third one is an auxiliary camera input indicator showing you that you've got a secondary camera attached to it and its power is on. We also have a SSD card that goes into the device in the slot here located underneath the panel. It's important that you input this SSD card in prior to activating or turning on the device. As you can see, it just slides in there with your metal tabs down, and once it's in there, push down, make sure it's locked down. Sometimes you will have to use a pick tool or something to press it down far enough because it is a tight space. Now you can see it's all the way down and the SSD card is securely installed. We also have on this device what we refer to as a magic button. That's the orange button here in the middle of the device. Now this orange button does several things. If you're having trouble with the camera LED not coming on, if you just press and release one time, that should force start the camera. That's what its purpose is. If you want to press it 3 times, it'll switch the device to a Wi-Fi direct and cut off the cellular connection. If you press it for 2 seconds, it'll mark an event. So if something happens that you want to mark and indicate to be easier to find on your recordings, you can press and hold it for 2 seconds and that will mark the event. If you press it for 8 seconds, it will reset the entire camera. If you're having any problems whatsoever, that's a good place to start. Another feature on this device, once it's installed, is to adjust the camera so it's facing the proper direction, I should say. You have a little dial here that will adjust this camera on this side, which is pretty easy. This is the one that faces the front of the road so you can get a direct straight line view of the street in front of you. Now the driver facing camera is a little trickier. We don't have a dial on here, so you pretty much just need to move it with your fingers. It's a little stiff, so just don't be afraid to put a little pressure on it. And you can move it any direction you want and get it facing directly to the driver so you have a good clear view of the driver while you're recording. All right, let's go over some of the tools that would be required in most installations. Here we have a ratcheting screwdriver, our pick tools, a flashlight, a quarter drive ratchet with 10mm socket, our strippers, a digital multimeter, some panel pry tools, black tape. Now this is your minimum tools that might be required. Some cars require other tools, but these will always be required. Next, let's move on to looking at how you're going to choose your power source. Now when you purchase the device, you have the options of the OBD2 connector, the J1939 harness, or the hardwire harness. Now if you're concerned at all about having the unit unplugged, because we highly recommend using the OBD2 connector. It's a very simple plug and play way to put it in, and you could do it yourself as long as you can find your OBD2 port in the vehicle. If for some reason you're worried about somebody coming along and unplugging your device, then you have the option of using our hardwire device. Okay, so our first level of action when we're getting one of these Air 1 or 2s installed is determining where we're going to put it. So we know that our front driver facing camera is this one and our road facing camera is this one. So the device is going to be in this position. Now as I can already see, because we normally will want to mount them up here next behind the rearview mirror, is that this air freshener is going to be a problem. So we're going to go ahead and just remove that. You don't want anything hanging from your rearview mirror to obstruct the camera view. Next thing we're going to do is, because this is a sloped window and not a straight window or like a box truck or a semi, we're going to have to change the bracket. So we've taken off the factory bracket, which is for a flat screen windshield, and we're going to put on the slanted windshield. Once we've locked that into place, this is the section that's going to be mounted to the window, so we can kind of get an idea of where we're going to go. We want to center it with our rearview mirror, and at the same time you want to angle this front camera towards the driver so it's facing the driver. It can always be adjusted later, but it's easier to do it now. So once you've got that pretty clear where you're going to mount it, I've got real good access to my wires right here so I can run up through the headliner. I'm going to go ahead and take these cleaners and clean them out. It comes with your wipes in the package, so the wet one, you're just going to wipe it down, and the second one is a dry one. You're going to dry it off so there's no moisture. I don't want to waste this, so I've already cleaned the window before we started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up here, I'm going to peel this off. Now before I go ahead and mount it, I want to plug in my power wire. Now in this installation I'm using the OBD2 plug, so I'm going to go ahead and take this plug and get it unwound and plug it into the device. Once I have it plugged in, as we discussed earlier, you put that little cap back on. It comes with the screws to go ahead and put the Allen heads in here and secure that. And once we have that all done, we can go ahead and secure our mount. So you're going to go ahead and peel this off. Be sure not to touch it with your fingers. You have a lot of oil and grease. And I'll be honest, when you put this 3M tape on glass, once it's been cleaned, kind of only have one shot. It's real difficult to get it off once you're there. So get it lined up where you want it to be, make sure it's level, and give it a good solid push. And there we go. Now we can see that that camera is facing directly at me. And if I look outside, I've got a clear view of the outside, which is perfect. Now once we've got that done, we're going to take our wire here and we're going to zip tie it to this existing cable for their systems that they already have here. Now on a front headliner like this, we're going to use our panel tool, come up here and just give it a slight twist. And once you've got that slight twist, you can tuck that wire up inside there. It's a little hard to get started, but once you're in there, make sure you get it tucked back a little ways or it tends to fall back out. Okay, and then once we get over here, we're going to take it down the A-pillar and we'll be good to go. Be sure you don't forget to zip tie this up before you exit the vehicle. All right, so now that we've completed running our wire through the headliner and down the A-pillar, we've got our plug right here, our OBD2. So most vehicles, your OBD2 connector is going to be right here under the driver's side of the dash. In some European vehicles, it will be on the passenger side of the center console, but majority are going to be on the driver's side under dash, either center or next to the kick panel. On this one, it's right here next to the kick panel. So all we got to do is look at the OBD2 where one side is smaller than the other, match it up to the plug up there and plug it in. And that's it. And now you can see we do have some extra wiring here. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna bundle that up, take a zip tie, thing just turned on. You hear that? It's now searching for cellular and making sure the camera is active. So I'm gonna go ahead and zip tie that into a nice tight bundle and tuck it up there in the dash after I cut the end of the zip tie off. All right, now we have a clean install. Make sure you clean up any pieces, make sure all your panels are put back together, and you're good to go. Okay, the entire Air series is about safety for you, your family, and your fleet. So we sent Bruce from our engineering team out to check it out and see how this AI coaching works live. Let's check it out.
Collision warning. Harsh brake.
Okay, so that appears that he came up to the stoplight too fast and it gave him a harsh brake warning, indicating that the AI is working, showing that he was coming too fast.
Lane departure violation.
Oh, that happened real early. You see him passed over that white line on the side. Pretty interesting. Oh.
Cell phone violation.
So it looks like he was on his phone when he wasn't supposed to be.
Seatbelt violation.
Well, I didn't even notice that he didn't have his seatbelt on.
Severe acceleration.
Yeah, I was gonna say that before. He was speeding.
Severe brake.
So I should say.
Oh, so he, again, we got a harsh brake warning on that one.
Tailgating warning.
And on that final one, you could see he was a bit close to that car. So as you can see, our AI Live is working pretty well as far as I'm concerned. Be sure and check out our other videos on this channel for additional information. And if you have further questions, please visit our website. And thank you. On behalf of the entire engineering team, we're here to support you.